Starting 1st of October, the tax structure will change. What does this mean? This means that you will pay more on various kinds of foreign spending, including international tour packages, foreign travel for medical treatment, businesses, pilgrimage, and more. Higher TCS or tax collected at source rates will apply. The hike will also apply to personal gifts, donations, investments, and family donations. Now, after a delay of almost 3 months, the higher rate of TCS at 20% on foreign remittances will kick in from 1st of October, which is a Sunday. The government has announced raising TCS, remember, from 5% to 20% on foreign remittances under the liberalized remittance scheme or LRS in May of this year. Higher TCS rates will apply on various kinds of foreign spending, which will also include your tour packages and foreign travel for medical treatment as well as for studies. The hike will apply, as I said, to everything that you are going to do out there, which is personal in nature, but also lots of changes. I'm told Gauri Chadha, who is a tax expert, joining us. Gauri is here with us. Gauri, thank you so much for taking time out. Explain to us what happens. So if I go out, if I go abroad on a foreign tour and travel package, how much rate was I paying up until today, and how much will I have to pay starting 1st of October?
See, the thing is then that when you travel abroad and you buy a tour package, so this does not apply if you are buying your tickets yourself, you are booking hotels and everything on your own. If you are buying a tour package, then earlier there was 5% TCS without any threshold, but now till 7 lakhs it is 5%, and after that it is 20%. So 20% is a very big amount, it's huge. So basically, if you are basically buying a package of 10 lakhs, you have to pay 20% on the above 7 lakhs. So it's a very huge amount. But the thing is, the people who are going abroad for they are buying tour package or remitting money abroad, they think that this is basically tax which they have to pay. But the fact is that this is not exactly the tax which they have to pay. This is the TCS which is collected on their behalf, deposited to the government on their behalf, and later on they can claim the credit of the same amount. So when they file their return and when they are paying the tax, this amount which they have already paid as TCS will be deducted from the actual tax payable. So basically they are blocking their capital for some time. So I feel, of course, it's blocking your capital for some time, and it will hinder your working capital, but eventually you will get a credit. So I think that it is kind of an advance tax where you have paid tax in advance and later on you can claim benefit. But of course 20% is a very big amount. 5% was still fair enough, but 20%, I think it's a very big amount.
All right, and what's the rationale for a 20% tax? I mean, 5% was already applicable on spending over 7 lakh rupees. Spending under 7 lakh is still tax free. There is no TCS. So why change it from, like, what's the rationale you can think of the government had in mind to change it from 5% to 28%? Was it to shore up enough tax? And then have enough money in your kitty, and then because you can get it back, as you rightly pointed out, you can get it back if there is a mismatch between your taxable income and how much you've already paid as an advance tax. What's the rationale behind this?
First of all, for TCS, what I understand is that the government wants to target the people who are spending a lot of money on luxury items like luxury cars, travel abroad, and spending a lot of money there. And in their income tax return, they are not showing any as such major income. So to check on to keep an eye on them that they are actually declaring that income in the return, also they introduced TCS. This is my understanding. Now even 5% TCS was doing the same job, and 20% TCS is also doing the same job. So I don't understand why they have increased from 5% to 20%, but I do understand that 20% will give more revenue to the government initially. So suppose if I travel in April 24, so my TCS will be deducted in April 24, whereas when I will file the return, that will be in July 25. I will claim that credit at that time. So for more than 1 year, my tax amount is blocked. It is already deposited in the government's kitty. So
Right.
this is the thing that they are getting higher tax earlier. Plus, the concept remains the same, that they want to target the people who are not showing enough income in their income tax returns, but spending huge amounts on luxury items like cars and travel and
Right.
any
Okay,
other.
I think a 5% could have done the job. But
Right.
on top of that,
Exactly.
Krishna, come to think of it, you're just blocking that money with the government, you're parking that money with the government for a year.
Yeah.
You're giving interest-free loan to the government.
Wait, apart from the complications of actually filing this tax and ensuring that the government ensures that you collect it from us and all the complications that it involves, there is a very specific impact over here, Shweta. We were talking about foreign travel. Foreign travel agents, for that matter, are absolutely devastated with this entire, the percentage of tax. They're saying that nothing else gets taxed at 20%. If your aim was to sort of track foreign spends by Indians abroad, you can just lay their suggestion is that you can lay a 2.5% mandatory tax on all foreign spends of people who have valid PAN cards. That ways you can track people with PAN cards, Indian PAN cards, who've gone out of India and spent money and come back if that was your intention. This, like you're talking about, you're after a point parking money with the government. It's a complicated process in terms of everything, to track down taxes, which credit card, which bank, etc., etc. The complication of identifying what is the tax liability of an individual. Those issues have also been mentioned. The Travel Agent Federation of India, in fact, has 1,400 members across the country. So for travel agents, this is a death blow, so to speak, because it's an industry that's just recovering and emerging from the COVID pandemic, where it was absolutely flattened. So, in a sense, TCS comes as a huge blow, specifically for the travel agent industry,
Absolutely.
and the travel industry, Shweta.
All right, and before we move on, Gauri, if I want to save this tax and I don't want to park this tax with the government, essentially, I should book my own travel, not go through a travel agent. Is that what comes out of this?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Whereas travel is concerned, if you're buying a tour package, only then this TCS is applicable. If you're booking your own travel, you're booking your flights separately, hotels separately, other places you are buying the tickets on your own, and everything you're doing on your own. It is not a tour package. Then of course this won't be applicable. But if you
Okay.
are buying a full package, then of course you'll have to pay
And
TCS.
and one last clarification before we move on to another story, and I want you to stay back. What happens if I use my credit card? Because initially there were reports that credit card spends will also be taxed. That was clarified. So credit card spends are out of the TCS ambit?
Yeah, so initially the government said, I mean, the way they presented it was looking like that credit cards will also be liable for the TCS, but then later on they clarified that credit cards are out of the ambit of this new provision. As of now, credit cards are out of it, but of course, you never know in future if they again bring credit card in the same ambit.